JBN, we keep you informed. 3 flee, leaving behind gun and ammo on Marchpen Road. The police recovered a Taurus 9mm pistol and 3 rounds of ammunition during an operation on Sunday, March 22, on Marchpen Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. According to the police, about 11:15 p.m., lawmen were on an operation when, on reaching a section of Marchpen Road, 3 men allegedly ran as the police approached. The area was searched and the firearm and ammunition were found. No arrests were made. Cop accidentally shoots herself in the leg. A female police corporal is now nursing a gunshot wound after she reportedly accidentally shot herself. According to reports, about 5:30 p.m. Saturday evening, the woman corporal, whose name has been withheld, was changing her uniform at a police station in St. Anne when 1 round was accidentally discharged from the Glock 9mm service pistol issued to her. She was hit in the right leg. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom is investigating. Policeman shoots woman in self-defense during domestic dispute. Police investigators have moved to clarify reports that a police constable could now be slapped with multiple charges after he allegedly shot his girlfriend during a domestic dispute yesterday. Initial reports were that the police constable and his 33-year-old girlfriend were in their house at premises on Foster Lane in downtown Kingston when she was shot during an argument. But according to the official police report, about 7:20 p.m. yesterday, the policeman was at the home of his common-law wife when she was attacked and stabbed at by a woman and the attacker's teenage daughter. The policeman reportedly intervened and attempted to quell the dispute when he was stabbed by one of the women. He discharged his firearm in self-defense and the mother received gunshot wounds. She was taken to the hospital where she was treated and admitted in stable condition. The policeman was also treated for his injury. The investigators say the policeman immediately went to the Gold Street police station where he reported the shooting incident along with 2 counts of assault at common law, unlawful wounding, and assault occasioning bodily harm. It is not yet determined if the mother or daughter has been charged. Community stalwart murdered in Montego. Still on edge with fears of the dreaded COVID-19, the rural community of Montego in Clarendon has been plunged into mourning following the murder of 53-year-old businessman Avaloch Binns. Binns is regarded as a stalwart and father of the community. Reports from the Montego police are that about 7:30 p.m. last Friday, Binns was at home with his family when he responded to someone calling him outside of his home. Upon reaching outside, he was greeted with gunshots. The police were summoned and Binns was found with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Him no deserve this. I don't know how somebody could have a heart to kill him. He was so kind to everybody and had such a jovial soul. He would always be doing his farming, selling eggs, and work very hard just to make a living for his family, said one resident. Binns operated a shop in the Stoughton area of the community. Counsel for the Montego Division, Romaine Morris, described Binns as a cornerstone of the community. It's a tragedy for the community, he said. Binns was a jovial, friendly individual who was highly respected in the community. Nobody can understand this. Morris is pleading to anyone who may have information on Binns' murder to assist the police with their investigations. He was no murderer. The Kingston Central Police are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of 26-year-old Andrew Daly, who was killed by unknown assailants in downtown Kingston yesterday afternoon. As the lawmen processed the scene, a group of irate residents who claimed to be from Denham Town, where Daly lived, said that he was killed because of an ongoing turf war in sections of the community. One of them said that while Daly was not an angel, he was no murderer. Andrew was no gunman. He was a thief and a housebreaker. But him was no murderer. Him never did a thief, and would I know because me is a post too. He's hungry, him hungry, and go look for him father for a thing. And I go back and the man them kill him. But I lie them I tell him did a rob, the woman said. She shouted a string of insults in the direction of the lawmen while insisting that Daly was not participating in any illegal activities because of COVID-19. John was star. Him couldn't did a thief because everything tightened up from corona coming. Because as you look, he's a police, you see. A whole Denham Town man, them come hold him on the outskirts. If you notice, the next youth him did a walk with no get no shot, she said. The group later converged outside the House of Tranquility funeral home where Daly's body lays. After identifying the victim, another woman identified as a family member wept loudly while refuting claims that he was shot by a woman he had tried to rob. Him never did a rob no woman. And by the way, which woman I've gonna walk with? Him never did a thief nothing this time. I just kill him over things them not know nothing about, she said. COVID cases now at 21. Holness announces new restrictions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced new measures to contain the spread of the coronavirus, for which he says Jamaica is now preparing for a rapid community spread. At a press conference at Jamaica House on Monday evening, Holness also reported that the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has increased from 19 to 21. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said contact tracing is now being carried out for 542 people who might have been exposed to the virus. Here are the new COVID-19 containment measures announced by the government. 1. Schools are to remain closed until the end of the Easter term. 2. As of March 25, public gatherings should be limited to 10 people. 3. Restricted hours coming for barbers and hairdressers, who must not have more than 2 people waiting in a salon at any time. 4. Effective Wednesday, March 25, persons 75 years and older must stay home for a 14-day period. Effective Wednesday, March 25, public sector workers 65 years and older must work from home except where granted permission in the pending order. 6. Other persons who are able to work from home must continue to do so for a further 14 days effective March 25. 7. Every person who entered Jamaica on and after March 18 must remain in quarantine for a further 14 days with effect from March 25. 8. Markets will continue to open at 6 a.m. and close at 2 p.m. Central Village man gets 6 years for second gun. Frederick Clark's Booty Braham, the reputed Don of Rockland's Central Village, St. Catherine, was last Friday sentenced to 6 years in prison for possession of an illegal firearm in 2018, following last month's 4-year conviction for a weapon seized from him in 2012. Braham had pleaded guilty to 2 charges of illegal possession of firearm within 2 weeks in the corporate area gun court, having spent more than a year in custody after being captured in December 2018 for absconding bail in 2012 on the first charge. Braham changed his plea to guilty on Tuesday, January 21, when he appeared before Justice Carol Bestwick on the first charge. Police sources said that Braham had been sought for almost a decade in relation to a number of shootings and murders committed in 2009 before absconding in 2012. Braham was on the run for 6 years before being held on December 14, 2018, caught with another illegal weapon by the St. Catherine South Special Operations Unit after being the target of dozens of operations launched in search of him. The pre-dawn raid had triggered demonstrations in Chinatown, a section of Central Village, where roadblocks were mounted by some residents who claimed him as their protector, saying that he was innocent of the allegations. Braham was charged under multiple identities after giving the investigating officer, Constable Michael Edwards, 3 different names when held with a 9mm pistol inside his shoe in Chinatown. Prior to Braham's second guilty plea, his attorney Everton Bird told the court that his client had instructed him that the police had planted the second gun on him, a claim the reputed Central Village gangster afterwards retracted when he pleaded guilty before Justice Beswick, saying it was my gun. Central Village remains closely monitored by the security forces amid a state of emergency blanketing the parish of St. Catherine. A joint security force checkpoint remains near to the entrance to Windsor Heights, where lawmen are seeking to break the hold of criminals who have been extorting residents and businesses in the area. 2 men arrested in relation to Westmoreland double murder. Detectives from the Westmoreland Police Division have arrested 2 men in connection with a double murder in Bog district in the parish on Sunday, March 22. The deceased are 45-year-old Rohani Watson of Bog district and 28-year-old Swayne Dobson. Reports from the Savlamar police are that about 7 p.m., the 2 men were among a group of persons at a car wash when 2 armed men approached them and opened fire. The police were summoned, and 3 men who were injured were taken to the hospital, where Watson and Dobson were pronounced dead, and the 3rd man was admitted for treatment. Following an intensive probe, an operation was conducted by the police on Monday, March 23, and the two men, now in custody, were held. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.